Hey guys, it's Vic Dorfman. In this video, I'm going to show you how to analyze your analytics to see where the bulk of your traffic is coming from. So here I am in my Google Analytics account, and I've got one of my web properties selected here. And this is the main dashboard, so it tells us over the past, let's say 90 days, 30 days, 7 days, whatever, how much traffic we've been getting. Okay, so I'm averaging about 200 users a day, and a user in Google Analytics is defined as a unique visit. Okay, and what we want to do is we want to check the geography where most of our traffic is coming from, and you can actually see this in the dashboard. If you scroll down, it says where are your users. It gives you a little widget here, and you can click on that and click location overview. Alright, and you can see that most of the visits in the past 7 days have come from the US. For most websites that aren't focused on a particular geography, most of the traffic in my experience comes from the US, and most of that traffic from within the US comes from California. Now, I don't know why that is. It's a common pattern to see California be first, then Texas is often second, New York is somewhere in there. Now what you want to do is you want to select a long enough time range to represent or to give you a representative idea of the traffic. So we're going to say, let's say the last 90 days or so. Actually, that's more like 60 days, but if we scroll down now, we'll see that, okay, the US represents the biggest component of traffic, then the UK is about 1/10 of that. So by far the US has the largest, it's sending the largest amount of traffic to our website. So what does that tell us? That tells us that we need to deploy the server somewhere in the US, but where in the US? We have a lot of options, so let's go ahead and click further down, drill further down in the US. Okay, and now you can see, again, California is first. Oregon is second, interestingly. And so we've got California, Oregon, Texas. And if you look at the map here, we've got California, Oregon, Texas is over here. It really makes the most sense to deploy the server in California because that's where most of the users are coming from. Second most amount of users are coming from Oregon, and California and Oregon are quite close. So if I deploy a server here in California, it won't take long for it to load in Oregon, or for that matter, it won't take long for it to load in Texas because Texas isn't that far away. And then after Texas, of course, there we go, is New York, which is all the way across the country over here. Where's New York? New Jersey, New York, small state. So what that tells us is we should deploy the server in California. Now I can even drill down further and say, okay, well, where in California? And within CloudWays, we have the option to deploy, I believe, in San Francisco, in Los Angeles, and in Silicon Valley. Now, I usually choose Vultr servers. Okay, and now let's see, we've got, looks like most of the traffic is in the LA area, southern/central California. Okay, so it doesn't really matter, right? Just California is fine. And the Vultr server on CloudWays lets us deploy, I believe, in Silicon Valley. Let's say Vultr server locations CloudWays. And just see if I can Google it real quick without actually opening my CloudWays account. Okay, I bet we can. And what's cool too is in March of this year, the Vultr pricing actually dropped. It's rare that you hear of a price drop with a hosting company. Okay, so you can see we've got a Silicon Valley location, which is a little bit nebulous because Silicon Valley is, it's a valley. We don't know which city it covers. Basically, from San Jose, arguably up to San Francisco and even beyond. So in this case, I would just select Los Angeles, and then launch the server in Los Angeles. Now, if you have a brand new website and you don't know where your traffic is coming from yet because you don't have any traffic, well, in that case, just choose any location. Then make sure you install Google Analytics or some kind of analytics tool on your website. And then over time, as you start to accumulate traffic numbers, then you'll be able to go back and look at location just as we've done now. And you'll be able to tell where your website visitors are coming from, and then redeploy your server with one click in CloudWays. That's one of the cool things about CloudWays. Now, I should point out that the metric we've been looking at is sessions. So a session is basically like a visit on your website. It doesn't represent a unique visitor. So you can have a lot of the same visitors with multiple sessions, which can skew your results, right? So what we want to do is we want to go back to the United States here. Actually, we want to go back to, we want to go back to the United States. And then instead of sessions, we're going to select, let's see, I believe there's an option to select users. So goal set 1, site usage, I want to say, so new sessions, summary, okay, say new users. Click on that. Okay, and you can see that the numbers still pretty much hold true. So we're still getting the majority of new users from California, followed by Oregon, followed by Texas, followed by New York, followed by Florida, and so on and so forth. So that's it's quite a simple thing to do. Let me know if you have any questions, any comments. Just leave them below, and I'll be happy